My name is Heidi Knight. I'm an Australian. I am the head of procurement for Sanofi for APAC, and I work also very closely with the global teams, obviously, and I'm driving a program which is a global cost reduction program, as well as my APAC responsibilities.
Hi, I'm Kelly Irwin. I'm Global Head of Procurement for China Navigation. I've been in Singapore for 6 months. I've been in procurement for a very long time. Shipping is a new industry for me. China Navigation is a shipping company that has 200 years of experience. We do container shipping and bulk shipping all around the world.
It's interesting. I mean, procurement are no longer just required to sort of deliver year-on-year cost savings. They're being asked to be growth engines as well. So changing the dynamics within the procurement teams is actually quite challenging, because delivering on the basics is important, but we need to now do so much more. And actually creating value from our supply base is absolutely critical. And helping our teams enabling our teams to do that is a big challenge, because they're so focused on the transactional side of what they're doing. So we're working through that challenge now at Sanofi, and we're coming up with some solutions for how to solve that. Everything is being disrupted at the moment, I think, and procurement is a function that's also being disrupted and having to really rethink how they change the game.
I think the industry has moved more to a business partnering function than a procurement function. I think we have gone away from that, trying to do things and push our internal customers down a procurement route, and instead we're trying to adapt more to what they need, be more flexible, and really be more aligned with their strategy.
So I don't think technology is going to replace the function. I think definitely, McKinsey studies have actually said recently that 50% of the function, that the headcount of a function may not be there in the future, because what will happen is all of those tactical things that we do, all of those tasks that we do will be automated over time. And actually that will create and give people the headroom to actually focus on the more strategic interactions with suppliers to enable growth for both companies, partnering with those suppliers actually to enable that growth.
I think there's certainly a role for technology within the procurement function, artificial intelligence, some robotics. However, there's always going to be a place for the relationship side, the stakeholder management piece, building relationships and negotiations. So I think there should be a really nice culmination of both that join together to ensure that we are as effective as we can be.
Both. It's not so simple. So obviously there are some things that are best to outsource, and there are some things that are best that the teams actually deliver themselves. I think that centres of excellence, a lot of people are moving to centres of excellence. That makes sense. Centralising activities and operationalising those activities becomes quite critical. And, at Sanofi, we're in the process of making that happen and making that shift. We are also working with an external consultant to actually double our run rate and savings delivery. So that whilst that's not outsourced, that's partnering with externals, which I think is absolutely critical always to optimise the value that procurement brings.
I think you do both. So I like to think that you can create your own talent. However, sometimes you do need additional talent, so you can either outsource, buy it in to complement your own resources. And I think that's why we use consultants. That's why consultants can be very, very good partners for us in terms of what we need to deliver. So I think it depends on what we're doing, but I like to think that we should be developing in-house as well as getting some skills from outside, which actually also helps you develop your in-house people.
Actually, I've thought about that question, and the most fun that I've had in the last few years were actually working with millennials. Really bright, obviously young, enthusiastic, curious, and they can actually bring a lot to a team. But you need to kind of harness that energy in the right way. and you'll get the most amazing value from millennials. So I actually think millennials are critical to any organization at Sanofi, and in my team we're actually tracking how many millennials we have in our organization, because it's really critical. It's like any team. We need different types of ages, different types of thoughts, different types of cultures to actually extract the best from all of us, because we all challenge ourselves, we all challenge each other, and millennials are good at challenging, and I think that's really, really healthy.
I don't actually see them being too different. I think millennials essentially are just a younger, hungrier, maybe a little louder version of the older generations within our workforce. I think every generation has probably been looked upon in the same way. So whilst I think millennials do want certain things, I don't think they're that different to what everybody else wants. Everyone wants some positive feedback, interesting things to do, flexible workplace, people being honest with them and making sure that we're engaging with our staff. I think if we do that for all of our staff, whether you're millennial, Gen X, Gen Y, then you'll have a happy workforce.
The top 3 things they need to do to attract talent. I think obviously LinkedIn is becoming a key engine to attract that talent, and I can see definitely a lot of companies have LinkedIn strategies. It's very, very clear. I also think that having a graduate program, I've worked with a couple of companies that have had graduate programs, going to the best schools, talking about who you are and what you do, really helps attract great talent. But also having a reputation for actually being a dynamic environment also helps attract talent. I know when I was at Unilever, HUL in India, Hindustan Unilevers, every year was rated the #1 company to work for, and obviously that enabled a pool of talent to come knocking on their doors. So that made it easier for them.
I think they need to have employees as a major focus within the company. They need to be not looking at necessarily customer first, but the employee experience first. If we look after our employees, they'll go the extra mile and will mean that they're doing more for the company. I think we need to have good managers in our companies that manage really well and provide good feedback. And I also think that we need to have key mission statements that really mean something and that everybody within the company works towards.